Welcome, guys. Welcome to Team FreeStyle Build Strong Training. It is Monday, the 12th of November, 2018. I am coming from a new and exciting little office for me tonight. So it's nice to be in a new little space for me and share for you guys. So I know you guys probably think it's a different background. So I'm in a new little setup office. I'm excited to share with you guys Emma's amazing story. I want to just quickly, I know I acknowledged before we started the recording, but if you are watching the recording, I want to make sure you guys are aware we have had an amazing month. It was actually the all-time record sales month ever in Team FreeStyle last month. So I know I say that a lot, but it was another record month. It's incredible. So there's so much cool stuff going on. I know Laurie and Cameron, his team, had an epic month, so congratulations to them. That's one that I'm aware of. I also want to say a big congratulations to Katrina Stark. I'm not sure if we had other people in Team FreeStyle. I just saw a little post. I've been super busy with traveling, but I saw Katrina Stark was franchisee of the month in Australia. So big congratulations to our amazing 50 Club NMD, Katrina Stark.
Mia, stop being so rough with her mum. You'll put her outside, mate.
Just make sure you're on mute, guys. Congratulations, Katrina. And then we also had two new second highest position achievers, so two new QNMDs inside Team FreeStyle for the month of October. We had Karen Campbell, who lives all the way over in Perth, and then also we had Emma Marsh. And guess what? Emma is our special guest tonight. She's going to be giving you guys some inside tips on how she's been able to create what she has, some lessons that she has learnt along the way. Before we do that, I just want to share a couple of things. One is I want to say a big thank you, a big shout out to all the amazing crew in Adelaide last week. I am super, super excited what's going on in Adelaide. You know, I shared with that team in Adelaide that we've never, ever in the history of Juice Plus, there has never been an NMD come out of Adelaide, and the challenge has been put down that over the time moving forward, we're certainly going to start to produce an awesome team in Adelaide. We had an amazing event, three amazing events. It was good to catch up with everyone. We had training. And I just want to share this, is that 4 years ago, I know I shared it with all our Adelaide crew, but I want to share it with everyone. 4 years ago, there was never an NMD in Melbourne, ever. And Team FreeStyle in the last 4 years, has been able to produce three. I think they're the three only ever NMDs. So I'm super, super excited about growing an amazing team down there. There is plans, not totally confirmed, but I need to confirm them over the next 24 hours, that I will be back in Adelaide next week. So I'm going to go back down there. We might do another event, do some meetings and stuff like that. So certainly, guys, if you know people in Adelaide, now is the time to reach out to them, say hello, and then look out for some up-and-coming events that are being planned right now and get them there. Certainly, I think it's an amazing city with lots of opportunity. People are looking for something, and this certainly can be a great answer. So, and what an amazing place. Wow, who would have thought that Adelaide had a beach as beautiful as the one that I went to at Seacliff? It was incredible. Blew me away. I didn't think I was in Adelaide, that's for sure. So it was incredible. So I'm looking forward to getting back down there and hanging out with you guys and helping you do that. What else? I think that's really all I wanted to share with you guys. I know the girls here on the Gold Coast have got their Boss Babes event, I believe, is next week. Kira is away at the moment. She's away doing a self-development course. I love that our leaders are always working on themselves and growing to not only for themselves, but to provide more value for this team. So, but you keep an eye out for the Boss. I think there's still tickets. I probably should have asked Claudine today, but look out for those tickets. If you haven't bought one, I'm sure they won't last for long. So go and do what you need to do to get there. The Babes, Babes Supporting Babes. I called it Boss Babe, didn't I? It's the Babes Supporting Babes event It is on the Gold Coast next week. I know Claudine went and checked out the venue today, and it's incredible. So it's going to be an event that you do not want to miss. Other than that, I'm going to come back to you tonight because I'm not sure exactly the gold that Emma's going to share. But the one thing I wanted to share with you guys tonight before we round up after Emma speaks is that I want to give you guys some insight on how you get better at sharing your own story. And if you feel like a part of you feels like you're running around trying to convince people a little and that people aren't getting you yet, I'm going to give you guys some insight on how to stop trying to convince people and how to inspire them to come and have a look, to create enough curiosity that there's nothing that you share they would say, I'm not interested, that they'd want to come and have a look. And I'm going to share with you guys. When I got the chance to hang out with some of the guys in Adelaide, one of the things that I uncovered when I got to hang out with a guy that I truly admire and, you know, really wants this, is probably caught up in a little bit of convince mode. And I thought there's some real value for all of us to learn off that. So we're going to come back to that after Emma. So if you guys certainly hang around, not that you're going to want to go anywhere while Emma gets going. She's always amazing. So I'm going to try to find her. Emma, it might be easier that you come off mute, but maybe just to start with, Emma, I'd love for you to share how did the Juice Plus business come into your life? You do have a bit of a royalty last name in the Juice Plus world. What was it that you were hoping that this could be in the beginning?
Hi everybody.
Congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
MD. I know you set that intention a couple of months ago. I want to get it done. But big congratulations for getting it done.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you everyone for your lovely comments as well. So yeah, Brian and Fiona introduced the business to me probably, I don't know, like 2 years and 8 months ago now, I think it is. That kind of leads me to my very first lesson. So I'll just go with the script of what I've got in my paper, because if I go off topic, then I don't know what will come out of my mouth. So I just want to stick with this. But when Claudine reached out to me and said, can I go on to Build Strong? I was super nervous about it because I was like, oh my goodness, everyone that gets on Build Strong are like, you know, these people that move at an incredible speed and they have, you know, 20 customers a month, or they get to NMD in 12 months, or they're 24 club in 18 months. And I kind of thought like I wasn't really worthy of that. And then I took a step away from that and I thought, no, I am worthy of that, because I think that I am probably what is 80% to 90% of the people that are on the call tonight. So I wanted to talk about the 5 lessons that I've learned in the past 2.5 years. So the first lesson that I learned, Brian and Fiona, Fiona, not Brian, when Fiona wanted to start Juice Plus, before they went to Adam and Kira, she asked what my opinion of it was. I knew people that were doing Juice Plus at the time. I had a girlfriend that was doing it. And I said to Fiona, no way, you definitely shouldn't do that. And it's not because of any other reason, but apart from my girlfriend that was doing that was posting on Facebook 3 times a day, fruits, vegetables, and berries, a whole heap of fruits and vegetable emojis, just all about fruits, vegetables, and berries, like 3 times a day. And it was so annoying. I was like, Fiona, please don't become that person. We can't do that. That's not going to happen. My friend wasn't adding any value, and I love my friend. I'd cut off my leg for her, but it was just not great. So when Fiona started, I was like, oh, Lord. Anyway, she started. She came to me and said, Emma, do the business with us. I kind of do everything that Brian, Fiona, well, not everything, but most things that Brian, Fiona say, because they're normally on the right path with things. So I did start, and what Fee showed me was a way that I could do this that was kind of like more like attraction marketing. So I could use my Facebook wall to put up educating, inspiring, fun things. So instead of just writing about fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule, I could cook things out of a program, or I could get the kids to eat cool things and put photos of them up on Facebook, or, you know, there's a whole like range of different things that you could be doing. But I, in the beginning, wasn't exposed to that. So when I was writing this out for tonight, I thought my first lesson that I learned was your Facebook wall it's like a shop front. When I tell people like, hey, Adam, I run a online business. Do you want to take a look at it? Adam's very first thing he's going to do is go and check out what I'm doing online, like Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And if he goes and has a look at it and he's like, oh, so I have to like copy that script and continue pasting that with the same photo but a different fruit on it, like every single day. No, I'm not interested in going into that type of business. So that was my very, very first lesson. And I think there's so much epic training around social media now with the people that are in this team. My very favorite training is Jess Chimbry's training. It's in the training link, so Team FreeStyle in the photo album part. Her training, I recommend that it's like one of the first things that people watch. I think that she talks about it in such an awesome way that makes it's really achievable for anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. You definitely don't have to be like an old fit person like Jess or anything. Anybody can follow the system that she puts in place. So I definitely recommend that one. So my second lesson that I learned, I actually have to use my pages. So sorry, guys. My second lesson that I learned was deciding to just be successful. So I've spoken about this in the past, how Kira would always say how she decided to be successful. And I would always say, like, I would scream back at the computer screen at Kira, and I'm like, well, I also decided, and why am I not successful? There was a big difference between me and Kira. She would say it, and then Kira would go and do work. I would say it, and then I'd go and scroll through Facebook. And I thought that that's what work was. So I had to really, like, me and Cameron got ourselves into a situation where I was pregnant. I was working 4 days a week. I had a 1-year-old little boy. I was going back to work pretty much immediately after having my daughter Grace. My mum was meant to babysit. Mum gets cancer. She's totally fine now. Mum gets cancer. This is 2 years ago. She's really sick. I can't afford to put 2 kids in daycare, like, for 6 days. It wasn't going to happen. So we turned to the business, and the goal was $2,000. I had to earn $2,000 a month. And I think that, as I said before, that I'm like the 80%, 90% of people on this call. $1,000 to $2,000 a month is when I do like calls with people. What do you want to earn? It's $1,000. $1,000, $12,000 a year. It's life-changing for families. So for me, it was $2,000 a month. So I had to map out what that was. It was a 6 to 8 club business. So I set a goal of 18 months. That's how long I decided that it was going to take me to get to $2,000 a month. As long as I showed up every day and I did a little better than yesterday, and I set a standard for myself that, you know, I was going to plug in, I was going to do DMO every single day, then I was going to be happy with the speed that took me. So to do that, I had to obviously sacrifice a few things. So at the time, I had a newborn baby, I had a 1-year-old, I had a husband that's working 50, 60 hours a week, and I also work in a traditional job. So I had to really work out how on earth am I going to earn this $2,000 a month on the side. So I had to make sacrifices. I had to cut out TV Monday to Friday. I cut it out, and I made sure that every Saturday or Sunday I get to sit down and watch an hour or 2 hours of some crappy TV show that I would normally watch during the week. I am really, really on point with time management. There's not an hour in the week at all that isn't scheduled. I can't say that word very well, but you know what I'm trying to say, scheduled. It's all there on a planner, on the fridge for the family to see. Well, the kids can't read, but, for me and Cameron to see. So it's there on the fridge, and I know what I'm doing at all points in time. Everyone is different in this business as well. So you've got people that are working full-time jobs. You've got people that are home with their kids. You've got people that have got partners that right now are probably maybe annoyed that you're taking time out from your family to sit on this training call tonight. There's people in this business that are homeschooling 8 children, just had a newborn baby that needs to be fed every 5 minutes and still somehow looks immaculate. But anyway, they're a different kettle of fish, but there are so many different people in this business. I think that you just have to go how you can go and show up how you can show up. And that looks different for every single person. And pat yourself on the back and don't feel guilty and crap if you have a moment. Last Friday, I had to cancel 2 calls that I had because, wow, I wish I could say Grace was teething, but she has all of her teeth. It was just hectic. So I had to cancel the calls and go, you know what, that day's a write-off. I'm going to have to pick that up the next day. So when I can't like, do you know what I mean? When I can't do what I need to do that day, I pick it up the next day and I make sure I do double the next day. So instead of doing 10 minutes from 9 till 10 past 9 when they watch Play School, well, now they're going to watch Play School and Bananas in Pajamas, and I'm going to do an extra 10 minutes there. So I just add on to the next day what I miss out of that day. Another thing I wanted to point out around deciding to be successful, sometimes when you come into the business, you have so many different, like, you'll see people jump on these calls and then it'll be like, you know, they got to something or other in like such a small amount of time, and you think, oh, I can do that as well. And then you get to that point. I remember saying to Brian and Fiona, I was like, yeah, I'll replace my full-time wage in 12 months. That was my goal. And then 12 months in, I was like, that didn't happen. So I needed to make realistic goals around my current situations, around my current life that I was living. So my goal was, and this is my goal still, add on $100 every single month. So first month you have 100, second month 200, third month 300. By the time you're 4 years into this business, you're almost earning a $5,000 a month wage. So 4 years, $5,000 a month. Well, that time was going to pass anyway. So if you think about it, like, you know, $5,000 a month for 4 years, like, that's pretty good. And don't get me wrong, you can 100% be like Brian Marsh, and you can do it in like, you know, $5,000 a month for Brian. Maybe he did that in 20 days. I'm not too sure. But like, you can totally do it in a really quick time frame as well. But sometimes you don't need to have that pressure of doing that, and do it at your own speed. So I went off topic there for a bit. Sorry about that. My third lesson that I learned in the business was from the amazing, talented Lorian Cameron, who I'm obsessed with. Lorian did this training about 18 months ago, and he spoke around tough times, challenging times, and hard times in the business. And I remember thinking, like, I'd restart my business at this point. I was SDVF, and then I think I got to SC, like, what's that, like, you know, the longer way, like not the longer way, but the shorter way, like with the 3 DVF way. That's how I got to SC. So I forfeited the bonus because I got there in 3 months. So anyway, so I thought I was absolutely balling it. I'm like, this is the best thing in the whole entire world. I'm basically Linda. So Lorian gets on, and Lorian does this training around like challenging times in your business and how you're going to come up against them. And it was like a month after I listened to his training that it was like, bam, train to the face, my challenging time. I had team leave. I had customers cancel that I wasn't expecting to cancel. I was copying a lot of, like, I don't know what, flake, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, crap, in my personal life around what I was doing. At the time, I was I'd cut down my days at work because Juice Plus was starting to help me replace my part-time income. So I was cutting down my days at work, and then I was copying a lot of like heat from that. So I was in a probably like not the best mindset. And I remember Lorian, he made this statement, and he said, because it's up on my wall, I wrote it down when Lorian said it. He said, the only way that you'll ever fail at this business is if you give up on this business. And so at that time when Lorian said it, I thought this business was the best thing in the world and that nothing bad could possibly ever happen. And then when Lorian said that, I wrote it down because I was like, oh, that's a cool saying. And I put it up there. And now that's what I refer to all the time. So not bad things, but challenges will happen and things will happen. And getting to QNMD, that wasn't just a walk in the park. Like, there were definitely times in the road where, you know, like I cried a lot and I had like a breakdown and I fired myself and then I rehired myself. And then like I didn't take my Juice Plus one day because I was so angry at it, and, you know, all of those types of things. But then I got really tired from not taking my Juice Plus, so I double dosed the next day. It was all okay. But basically, it's like, it's so true what they say, like the only way that you can fail in the business is if you give up. So just keep going. And in times like that, find something inspiring. Like, you know, mine was to rewatch that training that Lorian did. Mine is to go back. There's a few really awesome trainings that Kira does. Go and find something like that and be like, that's what I want to listen to, and that's what's going to inspire me back into it. Or pick up the phone and call your upline and say, this is what's going on for me right now, and see what they have to say, and just be open and honest. But I think that the quicker you get it out of your system, then the quicker you can just get over it and move on. So my next lesson, which I think is It's everybody's favorite. It's everybody's favorite thing in the business. It is called the comparison game. So I live on the Gold Coast, which a lot of the leaders live on the Gold Coast. I live on the Gold Coast, and we have an event here every Thursday night. I went to this event over a year ago, and Brian was up doing his spiel, and then he was like, I just want to congratulate the 2 new SSCs. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, let's congratulate you. Here's Emma Marsh and Anne Simpson. And I was like, this makes sense. We've both got 2 children. We're both married to very good-looking men. We've both got epic hair. Of course, we're SSCs together. So 3 to 4 months go past, and then Brian gets up and goes, blah, 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 does his business spiel. And then he says, I want to congratulate the new QNMD, however many club, Anne Simpson. And I was like, WTF? Are you kidding? I'm not like QNMD, but we went SSC in the same month. Like, what is going on? Like, why am I not that? And I was like, blah, 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 blah. It was like an absolute tragedy. Anyway, so I go home and I'm like, Cameron, like, you know, Ange, like, she's just there. And I'm like, how is she doing that? So I made the biggest mistake that I think anyone can make, which is like go to someone else's wall and just be like, how are they doing this? So I go to her Instagram wall and I see the followings and I see like, you know, all of it. And I was just like, oh, that's my problem. I don't have a brand. I don't have I don't know what you call it. That's how uneducated I am about it. But, you know, like a big thing or whatever on Instagram. That's what I need to do. That's exactly what I need to do. So I spent the whole month from that. So it was like 3 weeks I spent 3 weeks not doing any DMO, not reaching out to people, not doing anything, nothing at all. And as I said before, I've got minimum time that I can do this business. So if I don't sit down and go, okay, cool. So from step 1 to 5 DMO, this is what I'm doing. This is who I'm talking to. This is who I'm following up. If I don't actually do that, my business does not grow. Like, it just doesn't. So I, for that whole month, was a really, really crappy leader. Like, I had a bit of team at this point. And I just didn't show up as a really good person because I was spending the whole month downloading an Instagram app and working out how to put a border on my photos when, like, I couldn't even work out how to put my photos in the border and my border in the photos. Anyway, it was a disaster. So I was like, what am I doing? So I pick up the phone and I call Brian. And I was like, Brian's my upline. I'll call Brian. I tell him what I'm doing. So I call Brian. I'm like, hey, Brian, I'm trying to, like, you know, like, I'm thinking that where I'm going wrong with this business is I need to, like, build a brand. Like, Angie's got this brand. And then Brian's like, yep, sweet. So she had that for years before Juice Plus. Years. And he's like, it did, you know, complement nicely with Juice Plus. But she had it for years, Emma. So number one, you can't try and copy that because, like, you could have started that 15 years ago, then you would be where she is now. Number 2, comparison is the thief of all joy. And I've heard Brian say it before, and I was like, yes, Brian, I understand, comparison is the thief of all joy. And it just, you know, like, it annoys you when people say that because you know that, but you can't help but do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I hope I'm not the only one. I can't read the comments because they'll throw me off, but I really hope I'm not the only one that feels that way. So the thing that got me out of the comparingness, like, and wasn't the only person in the business that I, like, obviously compared myself to. I have the last name Marsh. It's obviously, you know, you do get people like, oh, you must be 50 Club. No, just three. Anyway, so this is how I got myself out of it. I thought, we are in a business. Every single person here is in a business that in 21 years' time could be paying you, like, I don't know, $500,000 or $1 million a year, say, right? Like, in 21 years' time, that's what this business could be paying the stay-at-home mum or the working mum with the 2 kids and a busy life, blah, 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 in 21 years' time. So I thought, when my kids turn 21, imagine what type of lifestyle we will have, the opportunities that I'll be able to give my children at the age of 21. And then I thought, I don't want on my kids' 21st birthday to say to them, Mum paid $165, that's it, just $165 once a year to compare herself to somebody else that has got their own, you know, whatever going on and their own stuff. But I stuffed up the whole entire thing. Sorry, kids. I stuffed it up because I was too busy comparing myself to other people. So that's what it is for me now. I don't think about, like, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, when people get promoted and stuff, like it's all really great and lovely and all that type of stuff. And of course, you're always going to go like, oh, I wish that was me. But think in 21 years' time what this business could be. Don't think what it'll be in 21 days. Think in 21 years' time, like what this business will be. So in 21 years, I want to say to my kids, like, you know, I did really well. I did really, really well. I did personal development. I worked on myself and I stopped going on to Instagram stories and I just did really good. So that's my driving force now, and that's what I'm using now to get me through the days where I go, like, you know, comparing myself and all of that type of jazz, not judge. Sorry, I've been speaking too long, my list gets really sore. So lesson number 5. I've spoken so fast. Look at the time. I'm so sorry, Adam. I told you I have 30 minutes. I had like 15. So my lesson number 5 is around vision and finding a bigger why. So as I said, when I came into the business, I wanted to earn $2,000 a month. And when I hit $2,000 a month, what I realized I've done in my business is really plateaued there. And it hit home for me today when I was on a call, and Adam was saying to somebody about them when they came into the business, they were in desperation. So they were like, got to get it. And then they got to a certain point, but now they're not in desperation. So they're plateauing, I hope that's the right word, but you know what I mean? Like staying still in the business. So I thought, oh my goodness, that is exactly what I have done. I've hit a certain goal that I'd like, and now I'm just like, so now I need to find that bigger why and that bigger reason and have a bigger vision on what it is. Originally, it's just to stay at home with Grace and Lachlan, you know, like, and I do that now, but now I want a bigger goal. So I wrote down some things like, you know, just like some quick things about what do I really want to do? How do I want to help people? And I thought, you know what? I've got a beautiful, beautiful friend, like one of my bestest friends in the world. Her name is Jess. For lots of different reasons. She probably needs about $5,000 to be able to have a child and stay off work for a year. And I thought to myself today, I was like, if I had $5,000 and I knew that I was going to be earning, say, $10,000 or $15,000 a month, if I had $5,000, I could just give that to her, and I could just say to her, hey, here's $5,000 and you can pay me back $10 a week for the next, whatever the math is on that, weeks. And I was like, imagine if I could just do that. So I wrote that down, and that's like a massive goal for me now. I was so excited. I was just like jumping out of my skin with excitement about what I could do for her and her family by doing that. My second thing that I spoke about was, I wrote down at 90-day game plan. Karina Lowe got up on stage and she told a beautiful story about how she was a single mom and she had 2 beautiful children. And so when this business came around, she was like, no one is coming to save us. I need to do this for myself. So respectfully, I have the opposite problem. There's a lot of people coming to save me, but they're coming with like these big signs going like, we knew you would fail. It was only a matter of time. Like I got promoted to QNMD and I was so excited. I almost wet my pants. Like that could be a pelvic floor issue. I'll get that checked. 2 kids, not working out well. But anyway, so I was so excited about getting to QNMD. And then like I called my mum and I'm like, Mum, I got to QNMD. And my mum's like, oh, when are you going to stop entertaining this idea about Juice Plus, Emma? That's actually what she said. And I was like, no, but you don't understand. Like, I got to QNMD. Like, I'm like so important now. And she was like, oh, Emma, you're never going to be Brian. It's never going to happen. You know that he's just successful at what he does, blah, blah, blah. And this is honestly what, like, my mum said to me. And then, like, that's mum, and dad's, like, the not nice version of mum. So I was just like, oh, okay, cool. What my point is around that is that I want to be able to just be like out, like, you know, have a wage that I can be out loud and proud about and be like, you know what, I'm going to go to Maya this Christmas and buy all the kids cool presents from Maya. No, I'd always go to Kmart because Kmart is totally epic, but I'd get 2 Kmart presents instead of 1. And I'd be like, look what I can afford now, Mum and Dad. And I can do that by being me and not being anybody else. So, yeah, having a bigger vision. If you can't do it for you, then, you know, maybe do it for 21 years time. Maybe do it for your parents or your kids or whatever. for 21 years time when this business could be paying you what it's paying you? Like, I know that Brian talks about all the time about the family he meets when he goes to America that have been in the business for like 40 years. And Adam mentioned that on like 2 or 3 weeks ago when he came back from somewhere, and he was saying about that couple that he met in Canada. And I was like, wow, these people have been in the business forever. That can be us. That can be all of us in 21 years time. Like, how epic of a party will we have for our kid's 21st birthday? Like, anyway, I'm excited about that. So they're my lessons. They're my 5 lessons, Adam. I'm sorry that I only spoke for like 15 minutes. I have a tendency to talk really fast, but thank you very much for having me.
You are honestly amazing, Emma. And I'm like, not only have you shared so much gold, but you're so entertaining. And I just want to acknowledge how much you've grown. I know we had you on training here only a few months ago, and just to see you totally rock tonight, at a whole new level. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited for what you are creating for your amazing family, but also the people around you. And I want to say this, you're not an 80%er girl. You're like all the way at the top, and, you know, you're going to continue to thrive and grow and, you know, maybe even out-earn Brian Marsh one day. That would be fun. And just, you know, buy your mum a house or something. That'll show her. Yeah, I know it's Juice Plus. You don't want the money, but let's do that. So a big congratulations for achieving QNMD, and it's no surprise that you're doing. I know I had the opportunity to catch you at a social function only a few months ago, and you're like, I really want to get it done. And you know, I know you've had to work hard to get to where you are, and, you know, again, just the growth that you're continuing to do and continue to step into, and, you know, humiliate, kind of, you know, in humility as well, to kind of just go, you know, we all have our stuff, and it's so awesome. So a big congratulations, and I hope you hang around, because I'm just going to share a little bit. I was almost like, I don't want to share anything. I just want everyone to love you and do that. But before I do, before I kind of round it off, I did promise you guys that I would do this with you guys tonight, but I want to just share with you guys, like, if you feel like you're kind of in convince mode, if you feel like you're trying to convince people, or people aren't getting it, and you're like, why aren't they getting it? And you're frustrated, I don't know, let me know that might be you, like that's me or whatever it is, because I want to share with you guys some insight on, if you're feeling that way, maybe you're doing it wrong. Okay, maybe you kind of, I want to help you guys with stop trying to convince people, and that our business, honestly, guys, is taking an interest in people in the areas that this might be able to help, and sharing stories, not telling them, but sharing stories that have them intrigued. And, you know, I came across this on the weekend, and so I wanted to share that. And so the first thing is that I want you guys to think of someone that you've wanted to share this with, that maybe they haven't got it yet, or maybe you haven't shared it with because you don't know how to approach, and you kind of don't want to be that convince mode and do that. But I want you guys to think of that person, and then ask yourself, how could this help? Whether it be health, or whether it be from the business, the financial. But first of all, you've got to ask yourself, how would this help them? And the first thing is, do you really know that they're looking for help? Are they looking for a solution? And so the first thing that we must always find is get permission to share. And the only way you'll get permission, I think when I say to you guys, you know, why are they when I often ask people, why are they interested? Why are they interested in this? And if you say the word, I think, maybe, I assume, any of those things, all it tells me straight away is that you're not 100% sure. And so what I want to help you guys with is get sure that they're looking for something first. Get sure that they are in pain in those areas. And I know people will play it down, but when you take the time to take an interest in that area, and you can identify by hearing, not assuming, that they are looking for something and they're looking for a way to improve their current situation, you sharing an opportunity to come and have a look at this through stories becomes so much easier. So much easier rather than, so the scenario was that, you know, I'm just trying to remember the exact scenario, but, you know, I asked him, you know, why is this person interested? And like, she's amazing. She's got a massive social media following, I don't think she's making any money and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, the only way you're ever going to find out is not assume and drag her to the event and try to convince her she needs to come, but ask her, how is she going with it? Is she actually making any money doing what she's doing? How does she generate an income? How does she do what she does? And then when people say, oh yeah, I'm making shitloads, I'm like, awesome. And do you like the idea of maybe adding? So it's about the questions. Are you looking for a way to create an extra stream of income? Are you open to the ideas? Would you like to, like when you can hear they're in pain, are you looking for a solution for that? Have you ever thought about coming up with a solution? Would you like to get on top of your financial situation? It's about asking the questions that facilitate the answers. When you say the word you should, you need, you just, as soon as you start shooting on people, you're done. And I really want to help you guys catch yourself with that, with this whole should and need, and trying to convince them that you should do this, or you need to do this, or you would be amazing at this, doing it. The thing is, guys, of course you're going to say that. And that's how they think. Of course you're saying that. You're saying that for your benefit, not mine. That's what they're thinking. When you can take the time to take a genuine interest and start to peel back the layers, and even when you and I can see, and you've even heard that maybe this could help, I want to encourage you guys that you take the time to explore it at an even deeper level. Ask more questions. Ask more questions about what have you, like when you ask someone, have you ever thought about generating income from home to get on top of your financial situation? Have you ever thought about doing something part-time in and around what you're already doing? Even using social media, the internet, have you ever thought about that? And when they say no, and like immediately, I think once we identify maybe they could be up for it, we want to kind of like jump on them and wrestle them and like, you should do it, right? But I want to encourage you guys that in that moment, it's when you guys can ask another 3 to 4 questions in that moment where you just get deeper and deeper. Like, well, have you ever looked at anything? Have you got a Facebook page? If you could generate, do you spend time on social media? If you could generate an income while you're on social media, would that be of interest? What sort of income would be worthwhile? Like these questions, what sort of extra income right now would be worthwhile? What would make a difference? How would that make a difference? Have you ever looked at anything like that before? And if they have, what have you looked at? Why didn't you say yes? What was it that held you back in the past from doing something like this? If you've been, like when they say I have, what have you looked at that held you back from saying yes? Maybe they tell you, that I couldn't find a product or service that I was aligned with, or I didn't feel like I had time, and then it's like, how much time do you think you'd need to do something like this? So once you've uncovered some of the story, the deeper story about what goes behind this, then and only then is when you can share really authentically and share in a way that people become open to say, you know what, tell me more. In this moment, and this is the hard thing. So first thing is being patient and being present. This is so important, guys, is that you're patient and present with someone when you're in a conversation. You're investigating and asking great questions about them, not telling. No one wants to be vomited juice parts. They feel that you genuinely want to help them because you're taking interest. The next thing is sharing a story that might resonate with them about someone else's success, or maybe some of your success, what resonates with you that might resonate with them. Maybe right now that you feel like, I don't have the amazing success stories. And I want to say that your success story isn't what will entice people to come and have a look at this. It's what you're sick of, what you're done with, and why you're doing this, why this appeals to you, that can be the most powerful of all. And if you feel like you don't want to share your story, maybe you still don't feel like your story is powerful enough, a part of your story that maybe you share someone else's. You know, when you know, like, think about this, guys. How many of you guys know someone just like Emma? Someone like Emma that might doubt themselves, have doubted themselves in the past, that would rather be at home with their kids, that is sick of putting their kids into care and doing that. How many guys know someone like that? And when was the last time you actually took an interest in them? And then when you do, and you hear that they don't love what they do, that they'd love to rather be at home, but they've kind of looked into stuff but never believed. And you can say, the reason I thought of you is that I saw an amazing I saw an amazing video last night, and she's been able to create a great little income right now over the last bit of time. And I couldn't help but think of you when I heard her. I couldn't help but think that the things that she's been able to create would totally resonate with you. And I was just wondering, would you be open to have a look at something? There's nothing about that. When you take a genuine interest in someone and you share a story that might resonate with them, there's nothing about that people will say, nah, not for me. This is the clue. When you can master the art of asking great questions, when you can master the art of just being with, and honestly, guys, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's like, I know some of you guys get so like, what should I say? Like the exact, I'm like, when you're just with someone and you're present and you're not thinking about how can I squeeze Juice Plus in here somewhere, when you're just present and you can feel them, that's when the conversation is so powerful. Take a genuine interest. Yes, be intuitive about how this could help and ask questions around that. And then when you can share an amazing story about, hey, I just heard an amazing story last night and I thought of you. Or there's a guy coming to town next week that's built an amazing business, or we've got an event on this weekend that's got some incredible stories just like you that I couldn't help but think you might be interested to come have a look. The idea, like even just asking the question, the idea of creating an additional stream of an additional income in and around what you're already doing with no real risk. Like, tell me, how would that appeal to you? Like, what is it about an extra income? What sort of figure would put a smile on your face and make a difference to your life right now? And would it be worth to just come and have a look? I just couldn't help that. I'd feel like, maybe just being honest, I'd feel like I'd do you a disservice if I never invited you to at least have a look. So getting good at asking, like taking an interest in people and asking great questions. Second, get good at sharing your story. Get good at sharing other people's stories. It doesn't always have to be yours. It could be somebody else's. Borrow it. Borrow Emma's tonight. Borrow some of your uplines, some of your downlines, people around you where you're like, man, I know this person that have been able to do what they've been able to do, and you don't have to inflate it. Just say it how it is. Inflating it, I'm telling you, people can smell it a mile away. You don't need to bullshit. Just say it how it is. It's not even about how much money they're making. It's the lifestyle that they're creating. It's the difference that they're making. That's what people are intrigued by. I'm telling you, the multiple six-figure incomes, the seven-figure incomes, I'm telling you, most people don't believe that bullshit anyway. So why share it? It's about what they're looking for. Most people, even if they believe that person's earning that income, they don't believe that they could achieve that sort of income anyway. So it's the extra 500, 1,000, 2,000. That's the stuff most people feel like, you know what? I might be able to do that. That would be nice. Say yes to more stuff. Stop struggling financially. Say yes to a few more things. Travel a little bit more. That would be nice. I might be able to do that. I don't know about being a superstar. It's okay to share, but as long as I think you got to share authentically and share great stories, and then just invite them. If people are saying they're not interested, this is the clue. If people are saying they're not interested in this before they come to an event, I want you guys to dig deep right now and just know that maybe you're doing it a little wrong. Maybe you are in convince mode a bit. You're convincing and trying to convince them through facts and trying to convince them that they should do it. It would be amazing, rather than just share great stories and invite and just say, just come have a look. If it's not for you, it's all good. But if I didn't share and you didn't have a look, I feel like I haven't done a good job. I feel like I've done you a disservice. So I encourage you to come have a look. And if it's not for you, I'm okay. And I promise you, I won't annoy you ever again about it if it isn't your thing. I'll always keep the light on, but I'm not going to annoy you for the rest of my life. I'm doing this. I'm excited about it. And I just want to make sure I share it with the people that I feel like this can help. And I think the thing is, guys, when you master that and you hold that space, when you hold that posture of it's all good, I'm doing it, just like Emma shared. She decided, it's my time to do this. Enough is enough moment. Life will throw us lessons. You know, Emma's mum getting cancer and doing that stuff, and you know what she must have faced, but life will throw its lessons. My thing is, guys, don't let something like that be the reason why you got motivated or inspired to do this. My thing is just get inspired now to say, you know what, if Emma can do it, if Adam can do it, and there's a whole bunch more here, I can do it too if I really want to. My time to shine, my time to ask more questions, my time to share more stories and give more people the opportunity to come have a look. I remind you guys that we've got lots of stuff going on. I want to encourage you guys that you stay focused. You know, there's a myth that this business is seasonal. There's a myth that this business is seasonal. And there's no way. This business only becomes seasonal if you show up seasonally. So I want to encourage you guys that you continue to stay focused even through the silly season. That this business, there is no doubt that this business is about momentum. And, you know, I shared this with our leaders today and I want to share it with you guys. You want to treat your business like a high performance motor vehicle. You keep it running and it keeps humming. You turn it off and then turn it off for a month and you got to kickstart that thing. And I don't know how long it's going to take to kickstart to get it going again. This business right now is certainly about momentum. You guys heard it. This team had the biggest month ever last month. Some of you guys had some of the biggest months ever. Right now is the time to make the most of this while others people go to sleep. Professionals still go to work. People that want to go all the way, the ones that go all the way stay focused. I love Christmas. I love Boxing Day. I love New Year's Eve. I love that stuff too. But what I also know, it's 4 days of the year, not 8 weeks. And I want to encourage you guys that you just continue to stay focused, that you guys keep building. There'll be a day where you can take 3 months away from your business, but now's not the time. Not if you want to really achieve what you want to achieve over the next 2 to 3 years. I really want to encourage you guys that you continue to stay focused, that you stay true to what you want. I hope you guys got totally inspired by Emma tonight. She is just a light that keeps shining brighter and brighter every day. And I can't wait, Emma, to see you walk the stage as an NMD in Melbourne Conference. It's going to be an amazing time. I'm just putting it out there. Let's get that thing done. We can't wait and cheer you on as a team. I know you're a part of an amazing team, that Tribes on a Mission, and then obviously all the freestyle community love you, along with all the Juice Plus community. So guys, show her how much you love her and come off mute and show her love. Thank you, Emma. Amazing.
Thanks, Emma. You're awesome.
Thanks, Emma. Amazing, Emma. So much, Emma. You're awesome.
Emma.
Thank you.
Amazing girl. So proud.
Rocked, Emma.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Very
Emma.
Rocking it, girl.
What a babe. Emma Marsh.
Woo woo.